Hey guys, what's up? I'm Just a Gaming here, and today I just wanted to kind of have a discussion about the Mattel Halo figures thus far, what's going on with them, kind of what's going on with Wave 2, because I don't think anyone really has any idea when those are actually coming out, because they've been saying a couple weeks for around 2 months now. I don't really know what's going on with that. I get comments a lot, even people asking me on Twitter when they're coming out, if we have an official release date. We still don't really know, but I'll get into that when we talk about Wave 2 later. But if you guys don't know, I did a video kind of similar to this when Wave 1 was first announced, all the way last year, I believe, where I just kind of discussed everything in a less formal, longer video, my thoughts on everything, not just the 6-inch figures, even though that's what I mainly cover, but I'm going to do the same type of thing here, kind of break down the different waves, because I know there's some figures that people don't even know exist, so just that kind of thing. But I'm just going to kind of do a recap of it all in general. So I'm first going to start off with Wave 1, even though those already released, but I have gotten a chance to kind of get my thoughts on them since I have bought them recently. But what I am going to start off with is the Wave 1 of the 12-inch figures. Gonna go through these sort of fast because I don't love these figures. I don't really pay a lot of attention to them, but the first one of Wave 1 was the blue Spartan Athlon, which looks fine, I guess. I kind of like the visor on it. I like that it comes with a DMR, but obviously these pictures that they have online and stuff, they obviously like really make them look better, which I think the best example was the 6-inch Linda figure, which we obviously saw that turned out to be nothing like the pictures, and the paint on that was one of the worst things I've actually ever seen. It is horrible. But the Spartan Athlon Blue, it's alright. Apparently, like, a lot of these figures, for the most part, they actually aren't too bad. They're just okay in general, but I just don't love how stretchy and long their legs look, and I'm just really not a huge fan of them in general. The next figure we have is a Spartan Buck, which, like I said, I already covered it before, but same with the other ones, I'm just not a huge fan of the elongated proportions and how it looks. The Lock figure I initially also thought looked really bad, but I've kind of grown to like it a little bit more over time, and I have seen this one in person, like at stores and stuff, and it looks fine. Same with the Chief one, I still don't think it looks very good. The paint on the Chief one I at least think looks a little bit better, but I still don't really love how it looks. We also have a red Spartan Athlon in Wave 1, which is the same exact thing as the blue. I probably like the blue better just because I like that color more. And one that I initially thought looked really terrible was the Promethean Soldier. And even just like the suppressor, the paint on that is terrible. It just looks really bad, and I don't want to judge these too harshly because obviously they're $10 figures. They're not going to be charging as much as, like, and the quality is not going to be as well as you might expect for like a $20 6-inch mainline figure. But still, I mean, even though they're only $10, you still kind of have to expect some sort of quality from them. And for me, they just haven't really hit that yet. Maybe if they make a Wave 3 and kind of change some things around, they will seem like that. But so far, I'm just really not impressed with Wave 1, like I said, and the one figures I have seen, I haven't even bought any of them yet, just because I haven't really wanted to waste $10 on them. But the Promethean Soldier, I don't think looks really good, and I'm really just not pleased with the 12-inch line of Wave 1 overall. Now, the 6-inch line of Wave 1, on the other hand, I actually was really pleased with, depending on some parts of it. First, we got the Assault Spartan, which comes with the Hydra. I really like that figure. That is one of the 3 figures of Wave 1 I actually haven't gotten yet, so I don't really have a huge opinion on that, but I do like the colors of it. Then we have Master Chief, who is another figure I haven't gotten of Wave 1 yet. He, again, I think looks kind of cool. He's got the energy sword, which I think makes him look good, and the assault rifle, so I don't know, I don't have a ton of thoughts on that, obviously, because, like I said, I haven't bought this figure yet, but from the pictures I have seen in the reviews, it seems okay, same with most of Mattel's first wave. Then we have the Elite Zealot, which I actually was able to buy and pick up at a Target a couple weeks ago because it was on sale, and I do actually like this figure. I do have some trouble posing it with the energy sword, but I do think it looks really cool overall. I like the color of it. The paint for the most part is pretty good, same with the sculpt. It's just he kind of awkwardly holds the energy sword, which is the biggest con for me of that figure, but overall, I do like it. Then we have the red Helios Grille with the Needler. I do like that figure a lot. That's probably my favorite figure from Wave 1 that I have right now. I just really like the colors on it. I think the red and the white look really good together. The Needler actually has a really good sculpt, same with the paint, and the green visor just really stands out. And I do like that it comes with the plasma pistol, kind of a diverse range of weapons all these figures have. So like I said, I do really like that figure. Then we come to Linda, who I honestly, like, the paint is terrible, like I've already mentioned, but if you're like one of those people that repaints figures, then that's not really a huge issue for you. I do think the paint on the Sniper also isn't great. I did a full review of this figure somewhere on the channel if you guys want to go look for that and you haven't seen it and you want to get my like full-on thoughts, but I do think it's okay overall. I don't love it. I like the Argos helmet. and I like her armor, but I just really hated how misleading all the pictures were that showed her in actual brown armor, and then we get it and it's like a pasty white, I don't even know what they were doing, Linda figure, and I didn't love it. Then we also get a Locke figure, which I also haven't bought. He comes with a plasma caster and a battle rifle. This is the last figure that I haven't picked up, just because I really haven't gotten a chance to just see it yet, and I just really don't have an urge to buy it since I already have a McFarlane Locke figure that I actually do really like. I think it looks pretty good. But I have seen that this is discounted almost everywhere, because no one cares about Locke. Because he's a pretty horrible character, but either way, I do think the figure's alright. Again, I don't have a lot of thoughts on it. And then another figure that I don't know if it's technically considered part of Wave 1 or not is the Ghost Elite Officer Ghost Deluxe set or whatever. That's really cheap now on Amazon. I think it's only like $9. That's how much I got it for. And it just got delivered like a couple days ago. And I didn't even really notice this until I like took it out, but how the flames underneath the Ghost were clear now instead of blue when they initially showed it off like last year. That really disappointed me, but overall I think it's pretty good. I don't have a ton of thoughts on it. I think the paint for the Ghost is pretty good. The paint for the Elite Officer is pretty good. Same with the sculpt. Obviously there's not much articulation you're going to have if you put them in the Ghost, but there's enough, and especially if you get this for the discounted price, I think it's a really good deal, and it really like looks cool, and I do like it. So if you're able to get it on Amazon, if you have Amazon Prime for the discounted price, or anywhere for probably less than like $10 or $15, I would definitely recommend picking it up, and I think it's really cool. So those are all my thoughts on 6-inch Wave 1 figures from Mattel, and like I said, overall I wasn't pleased with them. I thought they were okay. I do think they improved on a lot of stuff for Wave 2, but I at least liked that they had a nice variety of different figures for Wave 1. And something kind of weird that happened was we got what's sort of a pseudo Wave 1.5, which is actually what they called it, where for some reason they just kind of like didn't have any marketing or really anything, they didn't really mention it, but we just got Kelly and Fred just kind of randomly dropped at some point, and I was able to pick up both of those figures recently. The Fred figure I do really like. I had a little bit of trouble with him holding the weapon, but I think the paint on that one's really cool. And I do like that he comes with a DMR, and I was really pleased with that figure. Same with the Kelly figure, I didn't like as much. I thought the paint on Kelly herself wasn't as good as Fred. Either way, I still liked it, and I was able to get both of those for really discounted prices, so I didn't hate it too much. But I do like those figures, and I thought it was kind of cool that they just kind of, for no reason, dropped both of them, just to kind of get all of the characters from Halo 5 together in their line, in their new scale. I thought that was really cool. So like I said, Wave 1 and Wave 1.5, pretty good. Wave 1.5 definitely kind of improved on some stuff, even from the initial figures, so that's good. Now we're going to talk about Wave 2 of the 12-inch and the 6-inch line. First, I'm going to talk about the 12-inch line, because I kind of like to get those out of the way. First, we're going to start out with a green Athlon Spartan, and by the way, I do want to state that I don't really know if all of these are technically Wave 2, or if they really even are waves for the 12-inch line. I don't think anyone really cares. But I'm going to hopefully bring your attention to some figures that you may not have even known existed, because I personally found some while doing like research for this video that I didn't even know really existed until I saw them. But first we're going to start out with the green Athlon Spartan, which I don't love the shade of green on this one. I like kind of more a brighter green, but I think the purple visor is okay, and like I said, this one I don't have many thoughts on it. It seems to be just like all the others. Then we have the Spartan Helljumper, which if you guys remember from my initial Wave 2 revealed figures video, I mentioned that I thought the paint on this one just looked awful, and it was pretty obviously inspired by the McFarlane Wave 2 exclusive figure, where they had the same type of Helljumper with the black, or with the blue and the white, and I thought it was pretty clearly inspired from that. But we see here that it still looks alright. I have seen a couple pictures online of people that have found this in stores already, so if you want to buy this, go on ahead. I personally won't be probably picking this up. I just really don't love how it looks. Then we get a Spartan Hunter, which is a figure I hadn't even seen or knew existed. I've only seen it on like Mexico YouTube channels or whatever. I don't even know if you were able to like pick this up. I'm pretty sure you can get it on eBay, but if you really like this Spartan Hunter armor, then go ahead and try and find this. Hunter is an armor that I don't love, but I do think it looks cool. I think it looks obviously best when it's unlocked because it's got all the like different augmentations, but I really hate orange just in general, so I really don't like that they used orange for this, and I just don't think the figure overall looks great. But then again, depending on if I have it in hand, my thoughts may be different. We also get a Jerome 12-inch figure, which I think is pretty cool that they're at least giving Jerome some attention with the release of Halo Wars 2 earlier this year. That's cool. And we get a 12-inch Veil figure that I also think looks pretty cool. And this one probably, in my opinion, looks like the best compared to a lot of the other 12-inch figures. I just really like Vale's design in general, so that's kind of me being biased there, but still. We also get a Promethean Sniper, which looks oddly like dark. I don't really remember the renders like in Halo 5 what exactly the Promethean Snipers look like, but they're really dark for this, and I do think they look okay. I mean, I don't really have a lot of thoughts on it. I've never had an urge to get a Promethean Sniper figure, so that's just what they decided to make. So again, I don't have a lot of thoughts on it. The 12-inch Wave 2 line overall, there are those figures. I don't love a lot of them. I mean, I think, like I said, Vale looks pretty good. The Spartan Athlon, I think, looks okay. I just didn't see a huge change and difference in quality from the first wave into the second one, probably because they're just rushing these out. And again, they're not figures that I think many people care about. They're $10. If you want a cheap figure that doesn't look great, then you can go ahead and get these, but I would definitely recommend just paying the extra $10, or in a lot of cases only $5, just to get the 6-inch line, or just like other companies, other licensed figures of Halo that look a lot better, and you wouldn't have to be paying too much more money. And the last thing we're going to talk about is Wave 2, the 6-inch line, which obviously is what everyone's been eagerly anticipating to release for what I can only assume is like a couple months now. They said the end of June for Atriox at one point, then they said the end of July, then they said the end of August. And now we're in September, and only one of the figures has been released, and everything else hasn't shown up on Amazon. Some of them are on Mattel's website, but you can't order them. They're just like there, and they have some promotional pictures, but that's it. We don't even like really know what all the, I mean, we know what all the figures are now, but we didn't even know that till a couple weeks ago, so I don't really know what's happening. But I do think that we'll probably, at Toy Fair next year, see Wave 3 revealed, and I'll talk about that whenever we get to that. But first, let's just go over all my thoughts on Wave 2 really quick. First, on Wave 2, we get what is probably my most anticipated figure, which is the Arbiter, and I think he looks really good. This is probably my favorite figure of the line that I've seen so far. The Prophet's Bane, I think, looks decent for the most part. The sculpt on the Arbiter's armor, I actually think is really impressive, and for a $20 figure, I actually think it looks really solid overall, and I'm really excited to see what it's like when I'm able to finally get my hands on it whenever they release. In addition to the Arbiter, we also have Atriox from Halo Wars 2, which I also think is another, again, a really impressive sculpt that they have for him. I just really like how it looks. I think the face paint they did for him looks really good, and I'm really excited to see what he's like. His accessories he comes with are also really cool. I don't really know what it is, his stick he has, but I'm really interested in that. We also see Buck, who has the Nathan Fillion kind of molded head, which is cool that it comes with that for, again, only a $20 price point. I do think the armor on Buck looks really cool. I'm really excited to see what that figure ends up looking like, and I just can't wait to see what that one looks like overall. We also have a 6-inch Jerome figure, which I think looks really good. Like I said, happy that Jerome gets some attention, and that figure does look pretty good. I like that they have the inclusion of the emblem on the side, or on his shoulder. I think that's really cool, and the paint on his shotgun also looks really good. And we also get Vale as a 6-inch figure, which is probably my second most excited besides the Arbiter. Like I said, I really love Vale's design, so I would love to have a 6-inch figure of her. And we finally get a 6-inch Master Chief, another one. Even though we had the first one, this one comes with a cracked visor, he has a bolt shot, he has a sniper, and it's apparently, people do already have some of these, and apparently it is better than the first one that came out in Wave 1, so that's good. We also have with this the 2 retailer exclusive, which I was really happy they brought back retailer exclusives since we had a lack of those in the first wave. We have the Toys R Us exclusive, which is the Spartan Fotis / Helios Grille, which already released. You've probably seen people online have that, and it's being sold on eBay. That's the first figure of Wave 2, and I've already bought that one, and I did a video quickly giving my thoughts on that a couple weeks ago. But if you didn't see that, I do really like it. I just don't love the color choice, but I do think the model, the sculpt for the Helios Grille head as a whole is really solid. And the other retailer exclusive we have is a Spartan Locus / Argos, which is going to be a Walgreens exclusive, and it's red, and I actually do really like the look of this. And again, people do already have these, but they haven't even been spotted really anywhere else. But I do like the Argos and Locus helmet designs in general, and I do really like the figure, so I'll probably be picking that up whenever I can find a Walgreens that actually carries it. And I forgot to mention this at the beginning when we were talking about Wave 1 6-inch line, but something I do really like that Mattel's doing is Build-A-Figures. I've never even put together a Build-A-Figure because I've never really wanted to own a complete set of figures unless it was Halo, and Halo's never had Build-A-Figures, so now that they finally have it, I am really excited to see if I can get the Imperial Grunt one. I do think that'll be cool, and when I get the final 3 figures for Wave 1, I will hopefully be putting together the Alpha Crawler and seeing what that looks like. So, like I said, that's pretty much all my thoughts on everything Halo figure related that's been going on lately. I am excited when Wave 2 decides to finally release. We don't even have any information really about when that's happening. People keep asking James Monosmith on Twitter, and he keeps saying, oh yeah, they'll be out soon, and they'll be out on Amazon whenever we get the information. So I don't know what's taking all of that so long. But before long, we'll be getting all the new Halo 6 news. It hopefully won't be too long, probably E3 next year. So if we can get some announcements at Toy Fair of next year, kind of regarding Wave 3, like I said, I mentioned in another video, we have Legacy figures which were confirmed, so probably some classic figures, maybe working into Halo 6 somehow, and hopefully we'll just keep getting new Halo merchandise from different licensors. Like I said, we'll hopefully begin that soon, and if you guys don't know, there were some other I guess kind of, I don't remember exactly what it was. I think it was like Revel model kits. They did like Halo model kits that were recently announced, so I think that's cool. And the Halo Icon series with the Halo loot crates is continuing to come out. I believe the first one of Series 2 for them was a Cortana figure. I thought that looked pretty cool. And their newest one that they just revealed, like I believe a week ago, was a Flood figure that looked oddly cartoonish, but still kind of worked. So anyways, you're gonna have to get your own opinion on that, but I do like where all the Halo merchandise is at right now. I will hopefully be talking about any new figures we get whenever they're announced, and I do want to hear you guys' thoughts on all of Mattel stuff as a whole, trying to be reasonable with what they're charging. Obviously, for their mainline figures, they are charging $5 more than McFarlane was around charging, but the 12-inch figures are $5 less, so you just gotta keep that in mind. But hopefully we can all discuss this and kind of get together as a community and just kind of talk about what we want in the future from Mattel, so we can all have Halo figures that we enjoy. Alright guys, thanks for watching, Just a Gaming.